Hello, my name is Hyojin Choi. Nice to meet you. I'm from Hanguk University of Foreign Studies, and I'm also Director General for Korean Association for Audiovisual Preservation. This is an association for audiovisual archives in Korea. This is the title of my presentation. And yeah, here is a brief table of contents of this presentation. Let's start off with a brief overview of my research background. So let's begin with ownership. As Dr. Kim said, this aspect. So ownership is very important element in audiovisual archives. Audiovisual archives are often governed by a dense web of copyright and neighbor rights and institutional policies. But who is owner? Who is owner? The copyright owner is not the person who appears in the footage, nor the community it depicts, but the institution or corporation that produced or broadcasted. For instance, in Korea, many broadcasting companies are owners for audiovisual archives. The legal framework designed in the 20th century to protect economic interest has an unintended consequence. It locks memory behind ownership. What is preserved may be accessible physically, but not publicly visible. As a result, copyright becomes a gatekeeper of history. Digitization, it promised a new era of openness. Access for all became a general slogan. Digital technologies have made archives searchable, portable, infinitely replicable. But openness also introduced new forms of control. Platforms like YouTube, institutional portals, or streaming service mediate what is seen, how is framed. So even when materials are accessible, access itself is often governed by platform logic, or metadata bias, or political sensitivities. In short, access is no longer about availability, it's about governance. So these are three main bodies specializing in audiovisual archiving in South Korea. Public institutions are the main driving force of policymaking in collecting, managing, and using the audiovisual archives. The national broadcasters in South Korea frequently use their own archives for the in-house production. They upload also many clips from their old TV programs, often on their own official channels. And third one, individual and private sectors. It is also important group. Private enterprise, especially the entertainment giant like Hype or SM Entertainment, and they have been extensively employing their archival collection for generating new interest on their old catalog. So before discussing several cases in audiovisual archives in Korea, let's have a first look at the mission of the role of a digital archive. Providing access to the digital archive is considered the main role of digital archive because the ultimate purpose of preserving and managing digital materials is to make them usable and beneficial for individuals, organizations, and society as a whole. Access actually is divided into two sections, physical access and information access. Physical access is access to the physical carriers and its content, so by digitization, for example. And information access is access to the content information, so it's important to describe well metadata by metadata. So, providing access, a digital archive ensures knowledge accessibility. Without access, the preserved materials would remain dormant, failing to fulfill their potential to inform and educate. So many of you mentioned those a lot Europeana. I think it is a very good example. Europeana plays a vital role in this mission by connecting millions of cultural and historical records from European institutions into a single. Using Europeana, a platform that aggregates digital collections from cultural institutions across Europe, I searched for Korean in Europe, materials related to Korea. Interestingly, a significant number of records concern North Korea in Eastern Europe, including immigrants, laborers, or individuals connected to the Korean War. While visiting these archives in person would be challenging, Europeana made me discover and contextualize these materials with ease through its online access system. So digital archives are funded, maintained with public or institutional resources, providing access ensures that they serve as public goods. So access demonstrates the value of archives to stakeholders, funders, and general public, ensuring and continued support and relevance. And actually, access and preservation are interconnected. Ensuring accessibility over time, it validates the effort and resources invested in preservation. And materials preserved without plans for access may eventually lose their relevance or utility, undermining the purpose of their preservation. That's why many archives, it follows this model, OIES, Open Archival Information System reference model from NASA in US. But there are many challenges and considerations in providing access. First of all, access and preservation should be balanced. While access is essential, it must not compromise the integrity of digital materials. Tools like watermarks or permissions manage this balance. And there are also technological barriers. Providing access is the cornerstone of digital archives' purpose because it transforms stored data into a dynamic resource that educates, informs, and inspires. So I'll focus on the process of digitization. Let's see why digitization is important for preservation and providing access. So digitization and our preservation plans are a critical component for providing access to digital archive. Together, they ensure the physical and digital materials are not only safeguarded, but also made accessible in a meaningful and sustainable way. So why digitization important? Why it is important? Digitized materials can be shared globally via online platforms, as you know, as you have experience. And digitization often involves creating metadata, indexing materials, in making easier to search, browse, and retrieve items. So you can see the good example of BFI, British Film Institute. Actually, BFI is Audiovisual Archives in UK. It launched in 2023, BFI Replay. You can search on Google. After digitizing their films, videotapes, all digitized content can be accessed with BFI Replay Player, and it's software in almost all the libraries and mediatheks in UK, not here. So digitization and preservation are, again, it is interconnected. Digitization without preservation is unsustainable. But challenges and consideration is cost. Cost and for digitization equipment and labor. And it is also the problem of accuracy in metadata. And you can have we can't digitize all items because of limited resource. So you can see the picture of arrival of train at La Ciotat station in France. So this is the film was shot and edited in 35mm film. This film is preserved in the Museum of Lumière in Lyon, France. Thanks to digitized version in 4K format, we all can watch the old film whenever we want on YouTube. And thanks to digitized version in 2010s, the status of the original film is well recorded in pixel. So it will be helpful to preserve the carrier in the storage. This is a representative case which explains the role of digitization in providing access and preservation. So now let's have a look a case of in Korea. Since 2022, I have been researching and focusing on the archives on local broadcasters in Korea. Korea's local broadcasters consist of 25 channels, including 16 regional MBC and 9 private broadcasters. We have also KBS regional headquarters, but KBS headquarters are well managed by KBS headquarters. So that's why I studied only MBC and private channels. Especially regional MBC stations, it have produced and broadcast programs since the 1970s. So they still have substantial film and tape materials. So why their archives are important? Actually, their content held by local broadcasters, it contains the archetype of Korean broadcasting culture in the past. Many of broadcasters like KBS or MBC or SBS, so-called main broadcasters, they finished the digitization tapes to use in in-house production. So after the digitization project ended in the early 2010s, they abandoned most of the tapes materials. In contrast, local broadcasters, they have been unable to proceed with any digitization project because of shortage in budget, personnel, and time. So that's why they have they keep their own film and tapes now. So you have 1-inch old tapes in Busan MBC, and you have also MBC Gangwon Yeongdong. They have a large collection of footage depicting industrial sites and daily lives of miners in coal mine. So most tapes are news production have been digitized because it is well used. But those of production like documentaries or entertainment is stored in physical carriers. Each company, they have from 15,000 to 20,000 items without digitization. A lot of unplayable materials due to deterioration of tapes, as tapes are often multiplied on shelves. You can see the picture shelves situated near air conditioning room. It's my picture. And in Jeonju MBC, actually. Tapes left in unused studio in recording room. Few companies own VCR, video cassette recorders, equipment to play digitized tapes. And so they have no database, lists, or catalog of videotapes. It is really difficult to search on old tapes, even for production staff. From the perspective of preservation and accessibility, such historical video materials are not only proper storage facilities, it's controlled temperature and humidity, but also it remains undigitized. This makes them difficult to access, not only for general public, but also for members of the respective companies. Only 2 companies like Chuncheon MBC, now it is more, and Andong MBC are all digitized their physical carriers. And around 2018, many implemented a news production system and digital archives. But unfortunately, they don't have any data management policies in long term. But you can watch some digitized items thanks to their YouTube channels. Local broadcasters have a video on demand service in the website. And they upload also all content on YouTube official channel. And content is in sale for enterprise, institutions, public use, and individuals. So now I want to mention ethical dilemmas in audiovisual archives. From now, the word audiovisual archives means an institution for digital heritage management. Most audiovisual archives, they employ a system called the DRM system, the digital right management. DRM systems are tools and technologies designed to control and restrict access to digital content, ensuring compliance with copyright and intellectual property rights. So metadata plays a key role in documenting and tracking intellectual property rights for digital heritage items. As for digitization, actually, audiovisual archives have to perform some process for permissions and clearance of right, identifying right holders like creators, publishers, states before digitization. And in many cases, collaborative agreement like MOU or a contract, it is also important. And public access to cultural heritage material and IPR, intellectual property right, or copyright. Is also critical aspect of digital heritage management. Balancing access and protection IPR. It requires strategic planning to honor legal, ethical, and cultural considerations. So many of you can have open access, but like viewing, downloading, and reuse without restriction. And it is also controlled access, mainly for researchers or institutional members, or it is also access with permission to right holders. So these are main measures to balance public access and proprietary rights. So we can use also metadata standard like Dublin Core or rights-statement.org to clearly document rights and usage terms. And so I'll give you some audiovisual archives case in Korea for public use. For example, Korean Film Archive, 한국영상자료원 in Korean, they have KMDB, KMDB. This is Korean movie database. It provides integrated access to film information, video clips, still image, and posters, allowing both scholars and general public to freely explore and utilize these resources. It provides access to comprehensive metadata and digitized film materials, but also actively promote public use of its collection. So it's open access search system. Users can view restored films, archival footage, and related documentation online, supporting research, education, and cultural activities. And you have also KTV, 한국정책방송원, KTV, and KTV opened their platforms, KTV 나누리. KTV 나누리 was launched in 2020 to share KTV's video content, such as Korean policy videos, national records, and modern and contemporary history data of Korea, including KTV's video content. 나누리 is, in Korean, is a Korean word that means to share widely. It is originally open for only 100, more than 100 partners members by MOU. But since September 2025, it is open to general public. You can use it also for search and educational research, creative use. But it is well organized relatively. It is not enough in terms of information access. For example, content information like subject, location, people, and it is often insufficiently described. Metadata lacks right informations. And you have also KBS 바다. KBS 바다 is sea, and download in Korean. It is also a video sharing platform for open and free access, but it is well criticized also in terms of metadata and availability of the availability of content. Due to third-party rights issues, such as music copyright and production company ownership, many available clips are restricted to less than 10 seconds only. So, to conclude, I want to mention the word custodianship, shared custodianship, instead of ownership or copyright. So I believe we need to fundamentally rethink about ownership means in the context of our archives. So that's why, but archives are not commodities. They are cultural ecosystems that involve many layers of authorship, memory, and care. That's why many scholars and archivists now talk about custodianship instead of ownership. Custodianship shifts the focus from control to care, from possessing heritage to taking responsibility for it together. It asks us to see archives not as private assets locked behind the institutional walls, but as shared trust held on behalf of society. So, custodianship also changes how we think about archival practice itself. So it requires consultation before digitization and contextualization before publication, so ensuring that digital items are not stripped of their historical and cultural meaning when they appear online. It calls for reciprocity after access. So, thank you for listening my presentation. I'm really happy to share some ideas with you. Thank you.